Hello everyone, what's up? It's me again, Junkmaster3, and what do you know? It's finally time for the top 5 of the month for the month of February. So these are the 5 best movies that I've watched during the month of February, and sometimes when it comes to picking out my top 5 favorite movies that I've watched from a month, it could be really tough because sometimes you watch really great films, so it's really hard to pick which ones you're gonna pick for the top 5. And obviously, there's some months that are just really bad, that they're much weaker than other months, but you never really know before you watch the film yourself. So, yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way. And also, sorry for not posting anything in quite a while. I mean, sometimes it's like other things that comes around, and sometimes it also really feels like you really need to be in a specific type of mindset and a specific type of mood when you make your like videos. But yeah, let's begin right away with the top 5 of the month for the month of February. So the first 3 movies are actually movies that I don't have in the collection, but I would love to get a hold of them. Two of which that I watched in the cinemas, and one which I actually did watch online because I just couldn't find I couldn't find this on physical media anywhere, or at least not for a decent price. It seems like it's out of print and it's really hard to come across, but I'll get to that one eventually. So yeah. So at number 5 we have the movie which was fairly recently released, called Cold Storage, from this year. I believe it was this year. Um, which I really enjoy this film because I mean it seems like people have probably already talked about this film, but it's basically about this scientist man who's played by Liam Neeson. So he's like this scientist man, and he also like handles like nuclear wastes and stuff like, or like things of that nature. And then one of the containers or whatever, it's getting stored into like some sort of storage unit like thing, or I don't really know what you call it, but it's like within the wall of like a storage room. It's weird to say if you haven't seen the film, but you probably get what I mean for those of you who have seen this film. And I just don't really understand why they put like basically like really terrible things like that, like in like a storage building, whatever. But anyway, this is a very interesting film. So you could say this is almost like a sort of like an infection film in a way. I mean, it kind of reminded me of, this is gonna sound really weird, but it reminded me a little bit of 28 Days Later, especially when it comes to the whole rage virus in general. Because this is another one of these infection movies, and I just don't really understand why they keep saying that they're zombies, even though they're obviously infected. So it's sort of like a 28 Days Later, but more with a more comedic twist to it. More like a tongue-in-cheek type of thing, like when they just kind of mess around with the whole concept. And it seems like they had a lot of fun when they made this film as well. So obviously they didn't really take their movie like too seriously, and I really appreciate that when it comes to some of these films, because sometimes movies tend to be really preachy and really annoying with like some stupid message that I don't even care about at all. But this one, I think they really did an amazing job. I think the side characters are really great. The boss in this film, like, he's sort of like an antagonist, and I thought he was really great as well. And you also have a small little like cameo by Vanessa Redgrave as well, which was really cool to see. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about the movie in itself. I mean, obviously there's some things that were not really, they're not real, not that realistic. But then again, you don't really need to have realism in your movie when there's like a movie like this being made. But yeah, great performances all around, great comedic parts. Didn't really feel forced at all. I really like the comedy in this one. So highly recommended if you like horror type comedies, or for like if you want to watch 28 Days Later, but more of a comedic version, you could say. It's weird to say, but I mean that's just the best way I can describe it. So yeah, Cold Storage at number 5. And number 4 is a movie by a director who I am a big fan of. I think one of the only ones that I haven't seen by him is like a drama film from the 90s, and some new superhero movie he made a couple of years ago. But the director I'm referring to is Sam Raimi, and his new movie called Send Help. And this was a pleasant surprise because you don't really know when it comes to, especially when there's like a director who hasn't directed in quite some time, especially not like he hasn't directed a horror movie since 2009, I believe was Drag Me to Hell was the latest one before this one. Um, and I just don't understand the hate for Drag Me to Hell, because I really appreciated Drag Me to Hell, but I thought it was kind of misleading because Drag Me to Hell has some sort of like Evil Ed type of moments in it, but I wouldn't necessarily call it a horror comedy, but they were kind of like everyone else just basically called it a horror comedy. And I just thought it was really horrific stuff going on in that film. But yeah, I mean, all that aside, this is a movie which, I mean, obviously the first one is directed in so many years, or like horror movie at that. But the thing is, it's sort of weird to say as well, because I wouldn't necessarily call this a straightforward horror movie, even though it has some horror elements to it. It's more of a survival drama, thriller, action, sort of comedy as well to a certain degree. It's basically about this poor woman who works in this apartment building, and she's been working there for quite some time. And her boss, once again, the bosses are just horrible. Anyway, her boss is just really, really terrible as well. He treats her really bad and keeps talking shit about her. And when there's like a new position and for grabs, you could say, she obviously thinks she deserves it because she's been working there for such a long time, and then just some other random guy that the boss actually knows privately gets that job instead, and obviously she gets really disappointed by this, and then they decide to go on this, like, I think it's supposed to be like a business trip, and she like tags along, and then their plane crashes and they get stranded on this island. I don't want to spoil anything else in that, but I mean, I think the setup to this was really great. I think the main character, portrayed by Rachel McAdams, I believe her name is. Sorry if I completely like forgot about this, but I think she was an amazing. It was an amazing performance by this actress. I have seen her in other things. I just can't really remember which movies that I've seen with this actress before, but she did an amazing job in this one, and I think she had an amazing chemistry with the other main character of this film, who actually portrays the boss basically. So it's basically sort of like a Robinson Crusoe type of thing, like they have to survive and try to find food and whatnot. There's like a twist towards the end which kind of makes sense, and it's kind of funny. It's more funny than annoying to me. I know some people didn't really like that twist, or like the twist ending in a way, but I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, really entertaining nonetheless. I mean, don't go into this one expecting a full-blown horror movie, because I think you would be disappointed if you look at that. But this is a really entertaining survival type movie with some comedic elements to it as well, Sam Raimi style, if you will. But yeah, Send Help at number 4. Yeah, if you're a Sam Raimi fan, go check this one out as soon as possible. And yeah, like just with Cold Storage and Send Help, I would love to get a hold of these on physical media once they get released, that is. So yeah. Send Help at number 4. And number 3 is a movie which, this is the one that I watched online because I just couldn't find a copy anywhere. This is one of these films that I've always wanted to watch because I've heard some decent things about it, and I think it popped up on some of those like disturbing movies lists back in the day. I say back in the day, that sounds really weird, but like back in the early 2010s, when people were just really obsessed with disturbing movies or like disturbing cinema in general. Obviously, people are still really interested in that subject matter in general, but it seems like in the early 2010s is when it really like blew up. And but the movie I'm referring to is the movie called Found, from 2012. And this one, I mean, I don't really like the title. I think the title is pretty stupid and pretty bad. But this is sort of like a really sad, depressing, horrific, like family drama movie with lots of like horror aspects to it as well. It's not gonna be. It's just a sort of like, it's not really any big spoiler or anything like that, but it's basically about this family, and it's sort of like told from the younger brother's perspective, basically. So sort of like a narration bit from time to time, I believe. And this is not gonna be spoiler or anything like that, but I mean, his big brother is actually secretly a serial killer, unbeknownst to the parents, and at first unbeknownst to the younger brother. But that is sort of like told from the get-go. You kind of get who the killer really is. But it was a very interesting and cool way to like describe this one as like in another type of perspective, and it was really refreshing to see it than just this guy going around killing people or something like you usually see in some of these films. This was like from the family's perspective, or like the little brother's perspective, and I thought that was a very interesting take on this whole like serial killer type of movies in general. There's some gruesome stuff going on in this one as well, and you really feel sorry for especially the younger brother, but also the parents to a certain degree. But yeah, really entertaining movie, and I mean it is sad and it's kind of depressing, but I think the performances was also really really good, and I was shocked when I looked up this movie on IMDb to see that this movie had a really really low budget, and I'm just gonna look it up right away. But I was just so blown away by this because I really did like the cinematography. I did like the score. I really like the soundtrack as well. Let's double check on this one. This one had $8,000 budget, and it looks better than many $1 million budget movies. Let me tell you. And the storyline, like I said before, is what really, really I appreciated with this particular film. So, yeah, if you can find it anywhere, go check it out. Found 2012. Amazing film. I would love to get all of this on DVD or Blu-ray, but yeah, like I said before, it's probably long gone out of print. They couldn't really find a copy. So, yeah, found at number 3. And then at number 2, we come to the first movie I have in the collection, and it's the movie called A Normal Life from 1996 with Ashley Judd and Luke Perry, rest in peace, passed away a couple of years ago. This is nowhere near a normal life, let me tell you, when it comes to the title, but hence why this title is so hilarious to me. It's basically about Luke Perry's character. He plays like this cop, and he sits around in like a bar, and he sees that Ashley Judd's character is splitting up with her. I think it's supposed to be her boyfriend, and he's like, "Well, you are just so crazy, and you're so crazy," and then they kind of like tag along and they become friends, and then eventually they get in a relationship with each other, and then eventually Luke Perry's character realizes that Ashley Judd's character, or she's actually really really crazy, and he really does really weird and crazy things, but they try to make it work nonetheless, but it just gets worse and worse the longer into the film you get, and then when he eventually loses his job is where it really goes off the rails and really down, like in a downward spiral, really. Great performances all around, great drama. I mean, I think this was rather, I mean, it's not the most like realistic movie out there, but it felt realistic enough for this type of movie. Performances, great, really like the performance. Really nice atmosphere and soundtrack to this one as well. Really 90s vibe to that one. John McNaughton, that really rings a bell. I don't really remember who it is. I think it's the guy who directed Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, because I think it's the father of Luke Perry's character in this one is played by Tom Tolles, who obviously was also in Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. But yeah, great drama thriller type movie. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go give it a watch. I don't really know what else to say about it, but yeah, really blew me away, and I wish more people talked about this one because it's very underrated. I don't really hear anyone talk about this one. So yeah, Normal Life at number 2. And then at number 1, we have a movie which actually got recommended to me by probably 2, 3, maybe even 4 of my friends. And then obviously I needed to get a hold of this one, and I bought it right off the get-go, right after all of those recommendations. And so at number 1 for the month of February is the movie called 1 Hour Photo, with Robin Williams. I was about to say by Robin Williams because he really makes this film. It's so refreshing to see some actor that is usually known for something else to do something completely else. Because obviously Robin Williams, we usually know him from all of these like great comedy movies in general. I mean, he's a comedic genius. So it was very cool and really refreshing and really like awesome to see him in another like a very completely different type of role. That is sort of the same reason why I can sort of defend the movie, the number, what's that movie called again? The Number 7 or something, the number number 13. The movie I'm referring to is the movie by Joel Schumacher that had Jim Carrey in a completely different role as well. That's another reason why I kind of like that one as well, because Jim Carrey in a very weird role. The same thing I can say about this one. Obviously this one is much better than that film, but I thought this was quite cool as well, because you feel sorry for Robin Williams' character to a certain degree, especially in the first half of this film. Then obviously he gets completely crazy and has just lost any type of sanity in general. But it feels like he's this type of guy who works. I mean, he works in this like Photoshop or like whatever, which is probably not even a thing anymore because people always take photos with their phones now these days. But he works at this place, and you can see him sort of like longing for this family because he kind of gets obsessed with this particular family, and he keeps like looking on their photos really like creepy. I mean, some people would say that's creepy, which I totally understand, and I see it more as a very weird, sad character study because this guy hasn't really had, he doesn't have any family to speak of, and it almost feels like when he looks at this family, it's sort of like a longing for belonging in a family, which he really never really had. Hence why he becomes completely crazy towards like the midsection of this film. This is not really a big spoiler, you kind of get this from the get-go, but yeah, great performance by Robin Williams. I really like the supporting cast as well, and yeah, I don't know what else to say about this one, but I think this is a great masterpiece. And if you're a big fan of Robin Williams and if you want to see him in anything else than comedy movies, go give this one a watch. It's really amazing, and yeah, what a performance. Yeah, 1 hour photo at number 1. When did this one come out? This one came out in 2002, so yeah, just wanted to double check on that. So yeah, 1 hour photo. So there you have it. That's my top 5 of the month for the month of February. Next video is probably going to be the continuation of the 2000s series, where I rank my 10 favorite horror movies from each year in the 2000s. So keep your eyes open for that one, and yeah, I don't really know what else. I have lots of like different ideas, but it seems like I never get to make them. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this particular video. Have you seen any of these movies? Please let me know in the comment section down below, and yeah, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment or two, and yeah, make sure to follow me on YouTube as well, and you can subscribe to my channel if you want to not miss out on any new videos on this channel in general. So yeah, take care everyone, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye bye.